Good afternoon. I'm Brenda, and I'm the owner of Reiki Healing by Brenda in St. Petersburg. I'm at the Mind and Body Clinic. My phone number is 727-259-5240. I have been a caregiver for many years with my mother, and I wholeheartedly support all caregivers. And I find ways to holistically help you relieve stress through body, mind, and spirit. So today I'm sponsoring and honored to introduce to you Sonya. She's a certified wellness coach. She's a trauma-informed adaptive yoga teacher. She has a lot of personal experience, and she's very good at helping people with physical disabilities. She has caregiver experience. She lived in a multi-generational household where she took care of her grandmother, and also she has an autistic son who she learned a lot about what she does today through caring for him. Her experiences are wide in the sense of compassion, understanding, wisdom, and she has humor. She uses humor and curiosity in her teaching. So today, I hope that you'll enjoy the grace that she's going to bring as she talks to you about healing injuries. She has a connection to build somatic awareness, and she wholeheartedly can help you with aging and longevity. So sit back and enjoy and relax, and here's Sonya.
It's nice to see you again, and thank you for that lovely introduction. That was so good. Thank you, Brenda. All right, am I a go on? I have about 20 minutes.
You're on.
Okay, and I just realized that I forgot my microphone, so let me know.
Hear you.
Okay, all right. So I invite everyone to come to your chair. I'm moving away so you can see me. And I'd like you to sit on the front edge, the front portion of your chair. And then line up your legs, bring your legs together. There's still a space between the knees, but bring your knees together so that they project directly forward from the hips. And you can even use your hands to sort of feel in all around the soft flesh, find your way to the bones, and just check in that, yes, your leg bones are going directly forward. And then lean forward and take a look at the floor and have your heels be below your knees. If you prefer, I can be even a little farther back and show you so that your feet are forward and your ankles are below your knees. I'd like you also just to check in with yourself, learn to feel your way into body movement. Check in with your hip and your knee and see if you can sit with the hip higher than the knee. This helps us as we age because we usually have tighter hips and tighter muscles and tight low back, or even injury or pain or hip replacements. And so it helps our movement if we can set ourselves up for success by having the hip be higher than the knee. Okay, here we go. We're going to do some energizing spinal movements. The spine moves in 6 directions. So we're going to play around with all 6. Inhale, lift your ribs, lift your heart and lungs, and then bring your chest forward and squeeze your elbows back behind. Then exhale, roll slowly, move the pelvis back, push the ribs back, and reach the arms out. Let's do 4 more. Inhale, long spine extends. Exhale, curled spine flexes. Inhale, sit up and forward. Exhale, lean back and round. Inhale, big breath, squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, push it all out, push the ribs and the belly back into the spine. Inhale, long, long spine, squeeze behind. Exhale, round, curled, small spine, squeeze in front. And then come back to center and check in. do a little wiggle, do a little dance. Go from side to side, just to see where the attachments are, where you're feeling it, where it's ouchy versus where there's space. And what's really interesting as we age, our fascia and our muscles actually harden, the fibers. I'm a science girl, so everything's going to be a science lesson, but our fibers actually harden and stiffen, and we need to move, we need to warm things up. So do a little locomotive chugga chugga choo choo on each side and get into it. And now we're going to do side stretch. Let me adjust my camera. Okay, so still sitting on the front edge of the chair. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Stretch, stretch, and reach. And then exhale, lean over to one side. Bring the hand to the chair. The bottom hand is on the chair. The top arm reaches. Reach over. Reach, reach, reach. Stretch. Breathe. Be here. And then come back to center. Let's do the other side. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, bottom hand comes to the chair. Top arm reaches across. Breathe here. Sometimes just sitting in a chair or standing, you could do this same stretch standing. This is a practice of self-care. What Teresa was talking to us about this morning of having a routine and weaving these good ideas through of just moving and taking care of yourself. That is well-care, that is self-care. Let's do each side again. Sweep the arms out wide to the side, stretch and reach up. Exhale, reach over. And now this might be enough if you emphasize the elbow. This might be enough. Or maybe add a little curious rotation. Move the arm back out of the way. Inhale, look up at the ceiling. Exhale, look down at the floor and reach that arm out straight. Whew, can you feel those muscles working? Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down and reach. Whew. One more. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down and reach, and then sweep the arm like we're doing an introduction. And here's Linda. Woo-hoo! All the way around. Woo-hoo! Let's do the other side. Inhale, sweep both arms up. Exhale, come over. Bottom hand on the chair. Top arm reaches. Lean. Stay in the chair. Falling out of the chair is frowned upon in this establishment. Stay in the chair, but stretch. Lift that elbow, lift the ribs, feel this extension from hip to waist and ribs and armpit and elbow. Get that big stretch. This is what improves our breathing space because we're opening up this intercostal, the rib cage. Stay here or join me for some rotation. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down and reach. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down and reach. Oof. One more. Inhale, turn and look up. Exhale, look down at the floor, reach out across, and now sweep the arms. Sweep it all the way over. Whew, and do some wiggles. Okay, now let's do some chopping. So starting on one side, chop the vegetables all the way across and chop it all the way back. Neuroscience, do this again. Neuroscience research shows us that we actually have to shake off the stress. We store molecules of emotion in our body, the issues in our tissues, sometimes the therapists will call it. So we have to shake it off. So pretend your hands are wet and there is no drying towel or air machine. So get it off, shake it off, get the whole body into it. Move the shoulders, move the ribs. Oh, so good. All right, now let's do a gentle rotation, spinal rotation. Sitting at the front of the chair still. Slide that first knee, or front knee, slide one of the knees back. So if we slide it back, it turns our hips and we're cattywampus. We're diagonal now in the chair. Our torso is directing over the thigh. Let's open up the back shoulder. First, we're going to swing it. Swing it back and forth. I live in Tampa Bay, so this would be the Pirates, hey ho, hey ho. So swing it back and forth. And then we're going to do a couple circles. So bring that arm up, Lift that elbow up high and then reach down back behind. 2 more. Inhale, sweep that arm up, bent elbow, and then reach that arm back behind. 1 more time. Get it up, 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 and then over back behind. Now it's warmed up. Now you decide how much effort you want to do. If you want core, stronger core, reach that arm out and hold it with the thumb up as if you're shaking a hand. Big, wide, happy handshake. If that is too much for your shoulder girdle or rotator cuff or for your back or core, then grab the back of the chair and push into it so that you can get that elbow and shoulder back behind, and you'll feel the dynamic. That might be too much for you. Sometimes on some days, that's just too much. Just place your hand on your back pocket, but then move that shoulder joint back. Do a little sassy shrug. Get that shrug back there. And now we're ready for what the day holds. Bring the arm, the front arm, across the lap. Grab under the thigh, behind the knee. And first, let's just do a couple squeezes and give those hamstrings some love. This is self-care. So give those hamstrings some love. It's also a great way of massaging and strengthening our hands. And especially when my arthritis is acting up, it's very helpful to be squeezing the soft, warm tissue of my own leg. Okay, inhale, long spine, sit up tall. Exhale, check your chin slightly, like you're clearing your throat. And then turn your nose to look back behind you. Press your feet into the floor, sit up tall, show off your back pockets, put a smile on your face, breathe. Come back to center, shake it out, get a little dance, move around, and let's do the other side. I'll turn my chair so you can see. Okay, other side, slide the other leg back. So we're just sort of pulling the hip back. The feet stay right where they are. We're just getting crooked, and our hips are crooked. We're diagonal on the chair now. Our torso has turned to the corner. So let's open up the back shoulder. We're really opening up the back ribs, this rib cage and shoulder girdle. So let's swing it back and forth a few times. Hey ho, hey ho. And then we're going to swing it. So bring the elbow up over the head and then reach the arm down, back and behind. 2 more times. Inhale, elbow up. Arm back and down. Inhale, elbow up, arm back and down. Now you choose where we're going. Arm out straight, you hold it. Arm on the chair, and then you can feel the muscles in action. You can feel the strength happening there. Or hand on the back pocket, but you have to get sassy. You have to help the rib cage open, get that shoulder into the back plane. The front arm now comes across the lap, under the thigh, behind the knee, and do some squeezes. Let's strengthen the hand. Get some hamstring squeezes, get some love to the legs that do so much work for us. And then inhale, long spine. Exhale, check your chin and glide your nose to look back behind. Press your feet into the floor. Raise your ribs away from the waistline. Breathe here with gratitude for ourselves, for our bodies, with compassion for our circumstances and for all the efforts we give as caregivers. Just notice your body, the mindfulness practice that Teresa was talking about, being in this moment, appreciating what's happening. Let's do a little dance again, do a little wiggle on each side.
Get down tonight. Get down tonight.
Exactly. A little disco on each side works out great. Let's do a forward fold and work on some hip stuff. So widen your legs only as you're comfortable. Sometimes I have to shift from side to side and let my pelvis adjust, depending on what's happening with my joints and bones and injuries and all of that. Bring your feet so they're underneath your knees. Hands on, one hand on each leg, thumbs in, fingers out, pointy elbows. So first we're going to just kind of swing from side to side, as if we're just trying to visit or lean over each leg. Just move slowly, gently, curiously, with love, with appreciation. And then we're in the center. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, let the belly and the ribs, the torso just sink down. Come down halfway. Halfway right here. Take a look at one leg, knee. Take a look at the other leg's knee. Come back to center. Inhale, part way up. And now come all the way over to the thigh, to the leg, as your body can. We're all different. So with grace again and appreciation, just come where you can. And then the back leg, we're going to use that back hand, just move it gently because our body weight is on one leg. So this hip is a little off the chair and I can move the leg in the hip socket. All right, inhale up, exhale, let's come over, visit the other leg. And then we're going to just move this leg gently, lovingly, just curiously, moving it in the hip socket. Come back to center. Exhale, let's come down and maybe reach your fingers to the floor. So fingertips are on the floor. Let the head hang. Let the neck be soft. Breathe here, 2 big sighing breaths, just being here. This is a forward fold. It's very good for our nervous system. It's very good for our adrenals, for our cortisol levels, for our stress. Just be here, holding yourself up. The hands are on the floor. Breathe. Now, bring one hand on the floor under the face and the other hand to the leg. Push down on the leg, pull toward the knee, and then turn and look curiously over that shoulder, over that elbow. Come back to center and change sides. Now the other hand is on the floor under the face, the hand on the leg, pull toward the knee, and turn curiously to look over that elbow, over that shoulder. Come back to center, bring your hands to the legs. You may push yourself up or practice getting a stronger core by having hands off. Inhale to prepare, whichever you choose, and then push down into the legs. Strong legs push into the floor to bring you upright, slowly, carefully, smoothly. Whew, there we are. That's our warm-up. And now I'd like to do a little breath work, which Teresa also talked about. Mindfulness and meditation come in lots of different forms. And one way that we can practice mindfulness is to breathe. And sometimes it's helpful if we have something to do while we're breathing, because that interrupts all the thoughts, all the worry, all the fretting, all the planning, all of that adulting, all of that obligation, all of that responsibility that is happening in our executive function of our brain. When we interrupt it by having to focus on something, that is actually a form of meditation that helps us just escape our heads, escape our brains. So let's do that right now. I'm going to share a calming breath called candle breath. And so interlace your fingers. And it's interesting, we always have a default. We tend to always have a dominant way of holding things or reaching for things. So I'm going to ask you to interlace, just switch it so the other thumb is on top. And sometimes it feels a little awkward because we're not used to it. It's like someone else is holding our hand, which is also really good for our brains because sometimes we can feel as though it's been a long time since anyone has held our hand. So let's do this for ourselves. This is the self-love. Bring the thumbs up. This is the flame of the candle. So when we breathe in through the nose, we're going to breathe out through the mouth like we're blowing a silent whistle, so that it would look like this. And then find your way to feel the breath on your flame of the candle you're holding in your hands. Take 3 big, slow, deep breaths just like this. Somatic awareness really just means mind-body connection, that we're doing something, we're aware we're doing it, and we can feel that we're doing it. This candle breath can be done with children when I teach at schools. This is one that we use as a meditation practice. It can also be used with aging loved ones, especially because they can do it as it works for them. If interlacing fingers isn't accessible or comfortable, you can keep hands flat and just lift the thumbs and just practice having them blow where they can feel it. And it can become a game where they get back into their bodies of focusing and finding it. And you can take turns or even play blowing on their hands, which is what I used to do with my grandmother. And she would hold out her flame and I would blow on it. And then she would take a turn blowing on it. I share that with you just from my own practices. And I think our time is up, so I don't want to overstay my welcome. This has been fabulous. I teach online, and so you can find me, here I'll put it here, you can find me at q.wellness.llc@gmail.com is my email. Let me know anytime I can help out, Linda. I love this. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And I just especially like how you shared that about you and your grandma. That's pretty special. Thank you, my friend. Have a delicious day.
You too. I'm having it. Bye.
Good. So we were talking a little bit earlier about some kinds of pets, things that can just calm you down. So I don't know if you've ever seen this. This is my pet. It's my pet Cashew. This is a robotic animal. And many times it's great for people with dementia or people that are lonely, but I'll tell you, it's really great for me too. It can just calm me down. Everybody likes a little dog. So you can get them from a company called Joy4All. They have cats, they have dogs, and I think it's really great for a lot of caregivers for your loved one. And then when they go to sleep, for you too.